Hello friends and family. In this short video we're going to talk about the circuit breaker analogy. One of the most impactful analogies, understandings I was ever taught and I ever get to share with people. And why should you care about circuit breakers? Well, if you go home tonight and everything in your house is not working, it's dark, it's cold or it's hot, things aren't turning on and things aren't working, what do? What's the most logical thing to do? You don't start throwing things out, replacing things, unscrewing light bulbs, throwing appliances out, do you? The first thing any logical person does, and this pertains to all of us and our health and our future, the first thing that we do with our house at least is you check the power supply. You check the circuit breaker. You go open things up and make sure everything's in the on position and everything's flowing right? That's what any logical person does. This is how illogical we are when it comes to our health, and this is how illogical our healthcare system is in general. That is not the same wisdom we deploy or apply when it comes to our health. When we have symptoms, when we have signs of dysfunction, we don't start buying, replacing, taking out parts, or taking medication and a bunch of this other stuff. Well, that is what we do, when in fact what we should be doing is checking the power supply, making sure, looking at the circuit breaker panel, and I'll describe that in a second. It's going to be like a smack in the face. How did I not already know this? You should make sure that everything is turned on and everything is flowing properly, just like the same wisdom deployed in the house should be deployed in this house, our body, right? So that's kind of the circuit breaker analogy, and the more you understand it, learn it, work with it, understand it, respect it, most likely the healthier your future is going to be. So if you have friends and family that have issues, symptoms, ailments, dysfunctions, diseases, one of the first things that we should be asking, and for goodness sake our doctors should be asking, but most oftentimes they're not, is the power supply connected properly? Is everything flowing properly? And if it isn't, how do I get it reconnected and flowing again? Then we go down the line of thinking of what to take, what not to take, what to do next. But that should be the first course of action. And sadly, it's typically the last course of action, or not a course of action for most people. So come over here and I'll kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Chiropractors typically call this circuit breaker issue phenomenon, they give it a word. It's called subluxation. This is when the bone and the nerve, something's not right, something's wrong. And that's choking off or cutting off the power supply from the brain down through the body. So it kind of shows you this picture, light bulbs. If everything's flowing right, the power's on. Everything's working. The days are good, right? Everybody's happy, everything's working right, everybody's healthy. But if something gets choked off, if the flow of information, electricity, whatever you want to call it, to a piece or part is not working, it's cut off or it's diminished or impaired, you're going to always and forever see some level of dysfunction, some level of dis-ease in that region, that body part, wherever that's going to, right? Just like the flow of electricity from the circuit panel or the power supply in the house to an appliance, an air conditioner, whatever the case may be. So come over here and just consider this. I don't have time to explain it all, but it's something that we should have all learned when we were kids. It's something that we should all be teaching our kids. And it's something every doctor actually does know, but typically doesn't do right or doesn't talk about nearly enough, which is why most of us, this is a foreign concept, a foreign idea, which is why most of us are either sick and tired or will be sick and tired at some point. So check this out. Just consider this. The brain, that's the power supply. Sending down through the main channel, a flexible conduit. That power supply stems out to every piece and part in your body. Think about your thyroid, your heart, your liver, right? Lung, kidneys, bladder, the reproductive system. How many people have thyroid problems or reproductive system problems? Who is asking themselves, is the power supply connected properly? Are these pieces and parts getting supplied from the power supply, everything that it needs all the time? Chances are, and most often, it's not. There's a choke, there's an impairment, there's an interference, there's a dysfunction. And once you remove that, and the power supply is reconnected and things start flowing right, guess what the consequence of that is? The side effect. It's healing. It's normal, optimal function, the way you're designed to work and operate, right? So that's the circuit breaker analogy. I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys and hopefully get you thinking in the right direction about What kind of doctors are you going to? How are you addressing your issues? How are you proactively taking care of your health? How are you keeping your power supply connected and checking in and make sure that it keeps working right before you have to become reactive and start treating symptoms reactively, right? With that being said, get you and your family involved in a wellness-based chiropractor's office. They can do things for you and teach you things that nobody else can. Please share this video with friends and family and anybody that you care about. Bye-bye.